This question on Shootout can be debated into the night by any of you, wherever you are watching. Liverpool, the current Premier League title holders. So, has Jurgen Klopp knocked Manchester United off their perch? Big debate this, Greg. Who is the biggest club? Manchester United or Liverpool?
Yeah, I always think about that. Are there brands? Are there clubs? I think Man United is a global brand, and I think it's always going to be. And there's obviously teams that have stepped up and challenged that somewhat in the Premier League. But if we're talking about a club and we're talking about success, if we've got a Canadian nationwide referendum and you've got to check one box as to the preferred club, Liverpool or Man United right now, and it's not just popularity, but exceptionality in the last few seasons, I think there's just the one. I really do. And it doesn't mean Man United won't ascend to those heights again, and they could shock us all and win the Premier League this year. But that's the point. It would be a shock. Think about that. It'd be a shock if Man United won the Premier League. So you can't be the biggest club in England, and you can't be one of the 3 or 4 biggest clubs in Europe if you're a surprise Premier League winner. So to me right now, we're sticking with Liverpool. What's your thought?
Well, we have to define what we're saying in terms of biggest. But I've just got a quick question for you. Say we did a road trip around Canada. Oh, those heady days when we were allowed to do such things. Do you think at the moment, Greg, we would see more Liverpool shirts or Manchester United ones?
I think it splits among demographics. Man United, if you went under 35, you'd see more Man United fans. But I would say that the younger fans I talk to, and I'll give you a shout out to my 12-year-old soccer team, there's far more Liverpool fans than Man United fans. A lot of the dads and the mums are Man United fans. Steve, the kids are Liverpool fans because they're growing up and before their eyes, they're seeing a club that's winning and has a personal, a steady coach, a steady leader. Mo Salah, you'll see his jerseys everywhere. You see Pogba jerseys in many places too. But that's the big thing right now is keeping those kind of, iconic players with Man United. And they've struggled to do that these last few seasons. Liverpool feels like more of a consistent brand among really young kids right now who watch DAZN. I'd say that.
Yeah, I get that. And obviously those 12-year-olds haven't seen really in their memory, in their lifetime, Manchester United win the Premier League. But then the parents saw them win it a record 13 times and dominate the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson. And listen, these are two huge football clubs. They are institutions, I think was the word that Sir Alex Ferguson once referred to when, of course, he came out with that infamous line that he wanted to knock Liverpool off their perch. And in terms of their perch at that time, he was referring to league titles. So if you go on to league titles, Manchester United still one ahead, 20-19. If you go to major honours, Liverpool are 3 ahead. If you include the Community Shield, Manchester United are 2 ahead. With the different generations, they've both dominated. Those magnificent Liverpool teams of the 70s and 80s, Manchester United had to wait 26 years for a league title. And then Sir Alex Ferguson, as I say, dominated. But then since his retirement, Manchester United haven't been close. And Liverpool have got closer. And then as we discussed on Shootout, Jurgen Klopp delivers the Champions League. Of course, Liverpool have won that twice as many times as Manchester United as well. And he delivers the Premier League. And as we sit here now, Liverpool are the Premier League champions. They're two terrific football clubs. Globally, you're probably right, Greg. Globally, you would have to say Manchester United. They've had the following. They've got it right commercially better than Liverpool, wouldn't you say, over the years?
I would say that as a brand, they've come and done tours over here. I mean, Liverpool's played over here in Canada in the preseason and in the United States as well. But I think it's the Champions League, and that's where the dominance comes in. And Man United, it's the one thing I think United fans will say and be frustrated by. They've got to get better results, and they keep going, as you note, from manager to manager to manager. And in the Champions League, they haven't played even in a semifinal, Steve, in the last 9 years. Imagine if Barcelona hadn't played in a semi in the last 9 years, or Real Madrid or Juventus now. And that gets me to talking about sort of the clubs that stay global brands, but may not be the hot commodity on the charts, if you will. And I worry that that's where United is, that could attract a Ronaldo, a Robin van Persie, a Wayne Rooney from Everton, a Ruud van Nistelrooy. And I don't know. Of course, they signed Bruno Fernandes, but we'd all agree in the last 12 months, Bruno Fernandes's game and his reputation and where we'd rank him as a world class player. We both had him in the World 11 for 2020. Not that that's been a surprise, but it's been an ascension that's been quicker than even his biggest supporters predicted. So, look, I think Man United fans are understanding of this. Although I welcome the hate mail and the hate tweets if they're upset with me. It means they're watching. But they can't have it both ways. They can't complain Ed Woodward doesn't spend enough in the transfer market. We need this player and that player. Well, if you need those players, then you're not one of the elite soccer clubs still of two or three on the planet, are you?
I still think when push comes to shove, whether Manchester United are fourth or first, a lot of players will still be lured by Manchester United and playing at Old Trafford and the history and the tradition. A lot will with Liverpool, but I think in that barren spell that they had when they were chopping and changing managers, I think they missed out on players, Liverpool, because they weren't near to challenging for honours. I don't think United do that as much. I think the aura of Manchester United, but if you look at the social media followers, Manchester United have 2.5 times as many as Liverpool across the board. And I was just looking today, 6 months ago, if you'd been looking with your piggy bank to buy either football club, Greg, Manchester United would have cost you $3.9 billion. Liverpool would have cost you $2.18 billion. And I think that puts it in perspective. Manchester United, when the fans are there, and we hope they're back soon, 75,000, sellout, cannot get a ticket. They're generating 14, 15,000 more supporters week in, week out, despite the brand new spectacular stand that I sit in when I call games at Anfield that they've managed to do. Listen, both clubs have waiting lists for season ticket holders. Both clubs have fans in every corner of the world. But if you're pushing me, and as people do on the Shootout, you would have to go Manchester United just because of those figures. And the great thing is, Greg, rewinding now to fast forward to this season, from nowhere, people are saying that Manchester United could finish above Liverpool. I still would be surprised, but it's great to have that conversation again.
But if Man United end up winning the title, it's almost like they'd be proving the doubters wrong. And I'm not sure you can be the biggest club in England if you win the title and you're proving the doubters wrong. The logic wouldn't stand up.
All diaries, lock it in now. January the 17th, Anfield, Liverpool against Manchester United. It is still the fixture, and it could be a corker in this particular Premier League season. Only place to see it, DAZN.